Hey, nice to meet you. Try to look nice and serious. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. Love you.
Introduce yourself. You're doing a fire. You have all the reason to begin again. Under this desire, do you hear the call? Coiling the wire. You have all the reason to begin again. Under this desire, I have found the catalyst, and I have found the catalyst in you. Understand yourself. This is not a test. You have all the reason to begin again. Honor this request. Do you wait for love? Put your acquiesce. You have all the reason to begin again. Honor this request. I have found the catalyst, and I have found the
A twofer. A twofer this week. I can't get enough of you people and this band and webcasting. I just can't do it. I can't get enough. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's me again. You got me last night. You got me again tonight.
Jeffy.
Good evening, Miss Tina. Welcome to the Yo Show, or as I like to call it, Yo 2.0. We do it a little bit different now on Wednesday nights. Jewel and I, of course, do it every Tuesday. Every Wednesday, I bring in an amazing guest host to help me out. And tonight, who better to kick it off than one of my absolute favorites, one of the most beautiful faces in all of podcasting and webcasting and the planet Earth, Miss Tina Marie Trimpert. Tina, good evening.
Good evening. Oh, wow, what an intro. Thank you so much, Jeffy.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
you're well worth it. You are fantastic. One of our absolute favorites. Jewel and I love you. We love what you've done in the past. We love what you got up and coming, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. Your brand new podcast. We also have a great show tonight. Tina is with me. She's taking Jewel's spot, and God help you there because I'm pretty pumped up tonight. I'm pretty rowdy.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm missing Jewel. Jewel, wherever you are, hello. I wish you were here. And I'm super excited.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being with us, Jewel. As her daughter gets a little older, Joey, there's definitely activities, soccer and dance and softball. And
Yeah.
look, I said, you know what? Make sure you be the good mom, and I'll be the good host, and we'll keep it flowing, and we'll bring in different guest hosts and the same great guests that come on each week. We got a great guest tonight, Tina, actress. She's in a ton of Lifetime movies, just terrific, former soap opera star. Beautiful, talented, the amazing Jessica Morris will be with us tonight. Very
Yay!
excited for that. And
She's gorgeous.
she is, and she's such a great actress. I love the Lifetime movie actresses. I'm going to talk about it with Jessica because they always have that tough, take no
Ooh.
shit kind of bitchy attitude, but they turn out to be the nicest
Ooh.
people. They turn out to be like the nicest people when we interview them. So.
Yeah, you know what? Everybody, I think that when they act, they kind of bring out that dark part of them. They make it come out, and they are the most emotional people, actors and actresses, because, I've been in SAG as well. And so basically like we reach into that dark place of ours when we have to play characters like the types that you see on Lifetime, and it doesn't take much effort when you've been to some dark places.
True, absolutely true. And we're going to get to the background of it. Tiffany Mosher in the house. Yo, Jeff and
Hi,
Tina. Tiffany,
Tiffany.
thank you very much for tuning in. Tiffany will also be making some appearances on Yo 2.0. She's Jules and mine official backup, and she's fantastic, terrific
Aw.
author, and we love her as well, and she always pops in. So thank you, Tiffany, for checking out 2.0. Tina, what have you been up to lately? I know you got a lot going on. Just you from a good standpoint. Let's get to the good stuff because we all
Oh
know that
yeah.
we all know we're doing COVID, and we all know that we're doing politics crap, and we know all that. Give me some good stuff, the good vibe. Besides
So much
everything,
good stuff.
I
So
like it.
much good stuff every day because that's what it's about. Like, I love life. Just waking up alive every day is, that means something to me
Agree.
because everybody's been to dark places. Like, just we woke up today, right? So, new apartment, super cute. Here I
Love it.
am. It's very echoey. Ascend and Conquer, my new podcast. Wait, is that a mimosa?
No, this is a beer. This is a hazy style IPA. I drink in fancy glasses on Wednesday, not out of the
Ooh,
can. So we're getting
cheers.
fancy. That's what I'm talking about. Get in there, Tina. Yeah, so I'm going to hit that name on there again so people know and they know where to find it. It is Ascend and Conquer, and it's hosted and created by, of course, the amazing Tina Trimpert. So while we have some time, because Jessica will roll in around 8:30, let's get started off with what Ascend and Conquer is all about, what it means, what can we expect, besides your usual awesomeness.
Well, you can expect if I was awesome at my old show, the psychedelic podcast, then you can expect 10 times more awesome. Hello.
The Chus, 2 times this week, but 2 times every week. The Chus is
Nice.
one of our diehard fans. He's from Argentina, and he always makes us laugh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
awesome.
And he's got to make sure he checks out Ascend and Conquer. Give us some more on that.
Definitely. Yes. So Ascend and Conquer is all about what it took to get you to where you are or what it's going to take to get you to where you want to be. But we do it with a really positive and enlightening spin on things. And we have different guests on all the time, probably about 10 episodes in. And I have another fellow podcaster, Mark Halberg, working on my audio for me because MacBooks are hard.
Yeah, man.
They're really hard to use.
That's why I am the king of the ums and the uhs, and me and Joel laugh about it. And people are like, why do you do that? I'm like, I'd rather not edit. I'm just going to dive in and do it, and that's
It's
it.
fun live. No, it's just like such a different vibe though, because like here we are,
Yeah.
we can look at each other and stuff, but people that are listening with just their ears, they don't see, and sometimes they have no idea what we look like. And so it like adds another element of suspense and also another element of a lot of editing. Because when you hear yourself without seeing yourself, it's like, goodness gracious me, did I really say that? Take that whole sentence out. That has to go.
Oh, before we got into our studio like 2 years ago, and before we got into, of course, StreamYard, we used a site called Blog Talk Radio. And Tina, I love Jewel to death. I love myself to death, but man, we sounded terrible. I mean, the audio was so
Oh,
bad, and the show came out so. The audio, we had great guests, but the audio was just horrific.
yeah. Well, in retrospect, like how long were you doing that before you realized, oh, my audio could improve?
We were doing it for quite a while, and it got to be like, all right, no big deal. This is the way everybody podcasts. There's no video, there's no seeing us, and this site was easy enough to navigate. So I'm like, all right, no big deal. And then one day, Jules was like, you know what I did? I went out and I found us a local studio that'll have us in there,
Oh, cool.
which was great. And of course, after a couple episodes, COVID hit, so we lost the studio. And then a person that we both know from the podcasting world, the legend, Jimmy Starr. I reached out to Jimmy. I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you and Ron come on and have a guest come on in different locations? And he said, it's quite simple. Go to StreamYard and try it from there. And I'm like, wow, okay. And that was it. The rest was history, and it just turned out to be amazing. And I love it. I love being able to look like to have you come on and guest host. and have people see you, learn you, see the big smile on your face. It adds such a dimension to what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of going back to my new show that will be rolling out here within the next week, everybody, Ascend and Conquer. We get into all kinds of stuff, spirituality, people that have been really depressed, but how they overcame it and the challenges, playing games with some of our fellow podcasters that you could play along with us, like wink, wink, it might be trivia. And it's super
And
fun, but it makes you think at the same time, which is what basically I like people to be able to do. I mean, not everyone in this world lately knows how to think, but that's okay.
yes.
I love you all, and I hope that you learn how to think.
People definitely have taken a small step back after the lockdown. Uh, my man Jeff talking trivia about Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
Uh,
That's right.
And he knows the deal. I'm a PA guy. I'm a Philly guy, rather, and he's a Pittsburgh guy. So, of course, we know the rivalry, but I love Jeff. He's great. And the other Jeff as well, Jeff Dwoskin. In case nobody's heard, he has a podcast.
Yes. Jeff was just on my show, and Jeff Revere was on my show, and Jeff Dwoskin will be on next week. And
Awesome.
then soon you'll be on.
I love it. And then one night we'll do something with all the Jeffs.
Oh my gosh, it has to happen. You guys are taking over social media.
Tina will be menage a twine with the Jeffs. Or something along those lines. Actually, it's a four-way.
Oh,
Is that a different phrase? I don't know.
jeez. I don't know. Is it Scary Movie 6?
I think so. Something like that. Nah, don't worry. That's not my speed. It's only room for one Jeff in the house at all times.
Today it's Jeff the Shark Perini, who did at Indie Pods, which, speaking of, Indie Pods United is happening if you're watching, everybody. It's seriously awesome. We're getting incorporated. We're doing all the business stuffs, and it's really cool. And meeting actually with the founders on Tuesday again, I had met with Jeff Revere and Sean Dustin. They're both podcasters, and
Yes.
we went over some stuff. And Jeff, in the future, we have to go to Loco Brewery. Is
Loso
this the
Brewery.
name? Yeah.
Very good. Very
Yeah,
close.
Loso.
Loso
Loso.
Brewing. I would love to have that happen and welcome the team. I know it's a travel for some of you, not so much for Jeff Revere, being in Pittsburgh. It's not that far a ride. Ray Coleman in the house. Ray, what is up, dude? One of our good friends, a terrific artist. Brian Snow from Snowman in the Morning, another great podcast in the house.
Hi.
Brian always checks us out, and I'd like to check him out. I check him out on the down low because I like his inside sports scoop, and I challenge him to not lie to me about his predictions, and he doesn't. The man's excellent with sports. He's fantastic.
So
My,
it looks like your background's a little different.
My wife in the house as well, Cassie Perny. Good evening, and thank you for tuning in as well. Jeff is going from Lancaster. Yeah, on Wednesday nights, I'm going to do a little different. I turned the room around, and I got my little trophy things, my fantasy football trophy, my Stanley Cup. The picture right here, I'm actually pointing to it, is a picture that Jewel made of me as a Funko
Oh,
Pop. Super cool. And
cool.
just kind of change it up on a different night of the week. It's more, it's not more anything. I'm still the same jackass that I am on Tuesday. It's just a little different decor.
Right. No, I like that. And you know what? I learned that from you guys, that changing up a background is important to tell your audience. I really did learn that from y'all. Like, I didn't know
Thank you.
that. And I was constantly moving around different rooms. I was like, you know what? Color psychology. And my old house had so many different colors of rooms. And
Yes.
I just kept switching it up, didn't realize how important it is to let everybody know because they might not be expecting that change. And I thought that was really good advice.
I just enjoy, like, Tuesday nights, like I said, I do myself in front of the Funko Pop wall. And it's just amazing how many people talk about them, know them, and there's so many different parts of pop culture. But then nights I do this, like, people are like, hey, love that Stanley Cup thing in the background. And what's that picture? And right by my side, I keep the obnoxious fart ninja. He likes to make little fart noises and everything, a little
Oh, I
different.
want one. I
Oh,
need one of those.
They sell these at Target, and I cannot tell you how hard these are to find. My God, he's like on fire tonight. Impossible to find, but I love that thing. I'm a toy guy, as I told one of our fellow podcasters, Tom, I believe. Asked what the Yo Show was, kiddingly, and that's it. It's a grown man with toys, and of great guests and pretty ladies and live from my
Yeah.
man cave.
Heck yeah.
So, Ascend and Conquer, where did the name come from? I know you're very big on, um, how do I say,
Dual meanings.
yeah, and also fighting an inner battle and winning. So that's what I kind of got from that. Like you're all about winning and fighting the battles. Where did the name come up from? And give us a little something about what it means to you spiritually.
I was just thinking that ascend and the word conquer, and my co-host Brandon actually came up with a second part after a lot of deliberation with my own brain. But how they both have
Deliberation.
so many,
That's new to the
yeah,
Yo Show. We don't deliberate anything.
boom. I feel like a judge with a hammer.
Love it.
So basically, I mean, both of those words have so many different meanings. And to
Sure.
me, the word ascend can only be a positive meaning. There are so many different variations of the term that you can use in whatever way you want to. You can ascend a mountain, you can ascend spiritually, you can ascend in a business environment, you can ascend in your interpersonal relationships. And then conquer, everybody knows that means that it's to win, right? But
Sure.
also it can mean to overcome. It can mean to be dealing with a challenge and you're attempting to conquer this. And so, because of both of these words have so many meanings, everybody can relate, which means we have all types of guests and already have novelists and game show hosts and all of the above. So, you're all welcome. It's all about how you're dealing with challenges in your life and how you overcome them, how you plan to overcome them, where you want to be, but also we're hilarious.
Sounds about right.
So,
I know shows like that. And that's really the best kind. You have to take, no matter how serious your subject matter is, and how professional you want to be, you do have to have
right.
fun with it. If you're not having fun, it really is. It's worthless. I got to be honest.
Right. And so I think it's funny because I rarely cuss when I'm doing this stuff. And honestly, I don't really cuss that much anyways, unless I'm really, really mad. But basically, you know what? Just check it out. It's going to be a good time. If you like the psychedelic podcast, you'll love this one because it gets a little bit more emotional. And like Jeff was saying, like we get to be ourselves and, have some laughs about it. Take it with a grain of salt or a grain of sugar, whatever you want, and hopefully gain some knowledge from it because there's a lot of like love to be shared and spread with the world right now.
I love it. For those of you who are viewing live and those who will watch the replay, again, Ascend and Conquer. It's got a Facebook page and people are adding themselves to it constantly. I'm on it, and this is the way you can find the program. And Tina's always great. She really takes it seriously with a lot of fun as well. I am like, I got to come out and tell you this because you're wearing a rather beautiful looking dress, but you look so comfortable.
I am so comfortable. I mean, I'm used to being in front of the camera. I've done a lot of modeling and acting work, so I'm just comfy. It's a
I,
it's a comfy outfit.
I love it. I'm never comfy. This is why people always say, does your wife worry about you always having pretty co-hosts? I'm like, I need them. This way I look better. Because nobody's focusing on this side of on this side of the camera.
Oh,
Look at,
come on. You have
look
such
at
a
that one.
like Jeff, you look good and you have professional equipment, your audio sounds great. And yes, of course, you have the beautiful Jewel TD next to you. Did I pronounce that right?
Tatey, very close, very good.
Tate. Sorry. Sorry,
She
Jewel.
loves you.
Jewel Tatey.
She is awesome. And the thing I love about her and you and Maria Daniels and a lot of the females that I associate with, you really do tons of homework, tons of research. You're in it to win it. It's not just like a nonsense thing. And there's a lot of people, like the people we know. We talk about the Jeff Dwoskins and the Jeff Revelas. And, we poke fun of ourselves in a way. But in the end, our goal is to entertain and just have fun.
Yeah. What do you think it is between guys and girls that makes podcasting different? Because you just mentioned a few of us ladies and was like, talking about how we look into stuff and research it. What do guys do? And why do you think there's so much of a higher percentage of men in the podcasting world?
I think men more or less, trying to think of the right way to put this, men more or less just want to make themselves heard. doesn't necessarily mean anything about what. Like Brian Snow does a great sports show, and everybody says to me, "Why don't you have a sports show?" Well, I'm not really an expert. I know a lot about sports, but I can't come on here and be an expert. But I'll definitely come on here and talk about toys and beer and chicks and being a dude. Now, meanwhile, women do a little more research, a little more homework, want to come off a little more intellectual. Like Jewel does tremendous homework. And
That's awesome.
there's a lot of times she asks questions to my guests that I don't even know the guests are into, and I'm like, kind of like in shock, but she's just so good at it. And, there you go. Thinking too much makes my brain smoke. I'm telling you.
I feel like he's doing a shot at me for having this jewel because he's the word smoke.
Oh, I don't
put it
know.
in my
That's
Jeff. I see you,
You're,
Jeffs.
you're allowed to vape here. I was going to vape, but I don't have a vape, and I don't
Am
normally
I?
vape, but my wife
Oh,
does.
cool. I'm allowed to do that here?
You're allowed to vape here. You're allowed to drink here. You're allowed to curse here.
I never do that. As you know, in my other situation that I was in prior to this one, if
Yes.
everybody that follows me on social media, and Jeff, knows that I was not able to do these types of things before. And now it feels good because I'm having a drink on a live stream and I can do that because I'm my own person. And I'm very, very happy to be where I am now.
Excellent. And you can do that. And the one thing I'm going to do on the show, like on Wednesday nights after our guest, I don't want to do it before the guest because when the guests come on, I like to maintain a level of calmness. But after
Of
that,
course.
I'm going to take a shot, and my shot glass says, people say I have a bad attitude, and I say, fuck them. Yeah, that's actually on my shot glass. And, there's no time for bad attitude around here. Do a shot every time Jeff mentions a Jeff. Wow.
That's a challenge.
Next week on Yo 2.0, Jeff does a shot every time a Jeff says Jeff.
Jeff, I did a Jeff. So are we keeping points here? Because
I can. I got pen. I always got pen and paper handy.
hey, I think that might be a good game for us to play throughout the show. I mean, because I know that I'm gonna be like, hey, Jeff, like
Right,
a few
exactly.
times.
And I have in my possession here, my good friend Gus makes this. It's homemade apple pie moonshine,
Ooh,
but it's not the bitter, harsh, disgusting type you might be accustomed to. It's fantastic. And he leaves a cinnamon stick at the bottom. It's just amazing. So maybe
is
after
that made there in Jersey or Pittsburgh? Sorry, did I
he
do it
made
right?
he makes it like kind of legally because he doesn't resell it. He makes it out of his home and outside of Philadelphia, PA. This
Okay.
guy Pittsburgh, this guy Philly.
Sorry, there's so many P's.
See, here's how you can
Your
remember.
last name
See,
is P.
it is, and you can remember this way. Jeff has a ILL in his name, like Philly. Think the opposite,
And you
because
have
he's Pittsburgh.
R's.
He's Pittsburgh. This is not working. My cheat sheet sucks.
Whatever, you're
Oh my god,
good.
that was horrible. So I mean, like the new digs and all, you look very much at home. I really appreciate the way you're saying, like, different backdrops and different scenes and different scenarios. To me, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the live webcast where people can see, or do you kind of like the podcast where you can kind of talk and not have eyes back at you just in case?
I think I'm equal with both of them. I think I find value in both, but in separate dimensions, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
With podcasting, it's like, wow, like it's so candid. All you can do is hear the person, which is, there's such a lack of communication in the world that we live in. I think that people that listen to podcasts are the most amazing people because
Yes.
they are really listening. Some of them do put it on in the background for whatever reason, and that's
Sure.
fine. Yeah, it feels great to feel like you're in a room full of people because yeah, what you had said earlier, the C word has messed stuff up, and it is what it is. But I think that they're a very special type of people to do that. And then I also think that people that can only understand and appreciate visual, that's okay too. There's a amalgamation of everything when it comes to podcasting or live casting and streaming and stuff. There's so much you can do with it. You can put content out on Patreon. You can do just focus on your podcast, or you could do all of the above and maybe start an event like Indie Pods United. Wink, wink, because that's happening again and it's going to be awesome. And if you're an amazing person and you want to do something with Indie Pods United, where you can see what we used to do on YouTube and at our website, indiepodsunited.com, just hit me up and we can see if we can squeeze you in there, because you're doing something at the end of November to December, early December.
There's the, I sent it out. Oh, I meant to send it out as a banner, but I sent it out. There it is, Indie Pods United, of course.
Oh,
And if you go to the YouTube and you watch the first day of last year's, you will
day
see
one
me,
morning.
you'll see me trying so very hard to impress Tina and the crew that during the pepper challenge, I had a spit cup, which was a shot glass, and I was spitting the heat into it. And at
Yeah.
the end, I actually drank the spit cup. And that was,
And yeah, like a pro. You're just like, you know what? I'm Jeff the Shark Perini. I'm about to drink this spit. Done.
and that was my first encounter with a lot of those guys, like James Cox and you know,
Zach Wiseman, Andy
Zach
Grant.
Wiseman. It was my first experience with all those guys, and they're like looking like this guy's pretty fucked up. But that's the beauty of it, and that's kind of what I was gunning for. And Tina had said, we need everybody to be larger than life. We need to be big. We need to explode. I'm like, what more explosion than sweating my ass off and then drinking my spit? I didn't throw up like James did. We love you, James.
Dude, it's not
Jeff.
even throw up what he did. It was amazing. It was like a beautiful waterfall of that was really spicy. Still cringing.
Still cringing. Indeed, dude. Like that is like I came up afterwards because it was the morning. We did the morning part, and I came up afterwards. My wife's like, "What the hell were you doing down there? You're sweating. You're red. You got drool running down
You
your
didn't
face."
tell her?
I told her afterwards.
Oh my goodness.
I couldn't tell
Tisk, tisk.
anybody. It was a big secret. And then Jewel watched, and she said she was proud of me on behalf of the ocean.
Aw.
That's all that matters.
She's so sweet. She's such a beautiful person. And like, as you know, I'm really into psychic stuff and reading people's auras and all of that. And like, when I look at her photos, even I haven't met Jewel in real life, like I can tell that she has this beautiful glow around her. I would love to read her palm one day.
Oh, I like the sound of that. She is a terrific soul. We have an amazing bond, and as everybody knows, I call her sister from another mister, and I always
Hey.
and people that, but she's to me has become family. I told her the other night, I said, outside of my wife, you're probably the most important female in my life, and she's like,
Aw.
wow, but she's great. My man Bear Rain is in the house. Bear, thank you, Earl, the man.
Hi,
Thank you for
Bear.
coming on tonight to the second round. Earl he loves it, man. He just comes on and he recommends great musicians. He's a musician himself. I even mentioned
wow.
to Earl that during the 2.0 segments with co-guest host, I have to sneak him in here one of these nights. I may have to.
That's awesome.
I
I
don't
think you
know.
have such a great audience, Jeff. Jeff and Jewel and the Yo Show in its entirety. You guys have an amazing audience.
Thank you. We're extremely blessed. We get great people that come on with great comments. And like I said, we want to make those people part of the show too. So when they comment, we bring them on. Some people are like, oh, that's not right. It's not proper etiquette. Well, here's your etiquette. It's my show.
Great.
When
Yay.
you pay the Yo Show bills through sponsoring or etc., you can call any shot you want. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna pop on my man Bear saying hi to Tina. That's how I do it here.
Hi there. Woo.
He's an awesome
Like
dude.
everybody do the wave.
I know you're like really down with the dance tonight. I'm digging it. We are we're a minute or two away from Jessica Mars. I'm very excited. I'm a little nervous. I always, and you're gonna notice, Tina. You're gonna see the little switch in personality. I always get so fan geeked for guests.
Do you?
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
hey.
I do. I get fan geeked. So you're gonna see.
That's
me
okay.
Like last night, I was stuttering up, and Jules like, "You all right?" And I'm like, "No." Yeah.
Do I have time to use the restroom?
Do I have time? Do you have time? Sure, you got time. Go ahead, do your thing. I'm using the restroom as we speak.
I'll be right back.
All right, Tina will be right back, and meanwhile, we'll prepare shortly for Jessica Mars. Expecting her around 8:30. It's around 8:30 now, so we should expect her any moment. We were scheduled to have her on the Yo Show maybe a couple months back, but she's been so busy with so many projects. At the last moment, we had to kind of lose her, because obviously the acting and the shooting and all that comes first. We appreciate every guest that comes on, but the work comes first. So we totally understand there. Earl, yeah, man, I just went. I got my Depends on. I'm letting it rip right here. That's how we do it here on the Yo Show. Or Yo 2.0, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, it's been great. Like I said, Tina is a fellow podcaster. I really love fellow podcasters and have them come on and check out everybody's kind of different styles. Take a break, take a shot. I could do that. A little apple pie moonshine for the folks at home. And I love everybody's different styles. I know a couple of guys, we joke around about, I have never been on your show, you've never been on mine, etc. And we're going to get to all that. We're definitely conquering all that between indie pods and all that stuff. I definitely want to get into everybody's world because I love it. I think it's, it's not a competition. It's actually a giant community. Oh, that's terrific. I'm going to tell you, that is amazing. If a bean is a bean, what is a pea? A pea? I've had a few drinks already, so don't curveball me too badly. All right. Before the answer to that question, we are going to stop everything right now and get to the big business at hand. Our very special guest is backstage right now waiting for us. She's an amazing actress. She just has been in so many new projects, tons of Lifetime movies, Netflix, and all of my friends who watch the show say, I love this woman on Lifetime. She's absolutely amazing. Let's welcome the beautiful and talented Miss Jessica Mars to the program. All right.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so very much for coming on. I know we tried a few months back. We realized that last minute production stuff and last minute filming, and that comes first. So we just sat patiently.
It happens. It's life. Thank you.
Exactly.
You're
Sure.
so beautiful. I just have to say it.
So are you. So are
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
See,
you look
that's-
like Miss
I'm on my
World.
third cup of coffee for the day. What was
Excellent. She said you're kind of like Miss World. You are. You're very beautiful. Great presence.
that? I miss
I,
World. What?
I should turn myself off because nobody wants to see this face. They want to see these
Yes, we
faces.
do. We love you. Everybody
You have a
loves
fantastic
Jeff.
beard. Of course we want to. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a beard like that. It's like, you can't
No,
be
I-
replaced.
Thank you. I appreciate that. See that, ladies and gentlemen? Jessica Mars says I cannot be replaced. Jessica, let's get right down to the nitty gritty. Of course, like I said, a lot of my friends love you in Lifetime movies. Got a brand new one coming up, August 27th, Danger in the Spotlight. Tell us a little bit about the movie. Tell us a little bit about your character and the whole storyline.
Sure. We shot in Little Rock, Arkansas, and my character has a lot going on. She lost her son, then she became a raging alcoholic. She lost her job at the hospital as a nurse, lost her husband, lost custody of her daughter, and then basically now, like the start of the movie, she's like trying to get her life back. She's been sober for a year. But then the night before the hearing to try to get partial custody of her daughter, she blacks out after an AA meeting, wakes up, and there's been a car accident. And it appears that she's been drinking because there's alcohol in her breath, there's a booze bottle in the car, but she doesn't remember drinking. The woman that's in the car, that's in front of her that she crashed into apparently, is unconscious. So instead of calling the police, she decides, even though it might not be the right thing to do, that she should flee the scene of the crime because she doesn't want to jeopardize it messing up her hearing the next morning.
Sure.
You know, I understand that, even though it's not really the right thing. But anyway, she finds out that the unconscious woman in the other car is a famous ballet dancer who is now paralyzed. And so
Oh.
she's trying to get to my character is trying to get to the bottom of like, what happened? Why did this happen? And pretends to be a fan, goes to visit her, and ultimately becomes her at-home caretaker. because she's in the need of a caretaker, and my character's a nurse and need a job. So, and then there's actually a lot more twists and turns that come after that.
Man, only on
That's
Life. When they say only on Lifetime, they mean it, man.
right. I was going to say that's so many twists and turns that you just spilled the beans about that I can't even imagine how many other twists and turns there might be. And I actually have a question for you as well, Jessica, based on that. Did you have to come from a darker place within yourself to play such a role? Because I know that you've done things on Netflix that are on Netflix right now. And so I'd also love to hear about those, but I really do need to know, like, where do you reach?
um, I think the reason why when I'm like at home just trying to relax before I go to sleep, I watch comedies because I feel like I'm a happy person, but I do have darkness in my brain already. So it's not like really that hard to dig for the dramatic stuff. Um,
Right.
Maybe I've always been a drama queen a little bit. I don't know. And like I'm always someone who has like very weird dreams. Like I have very vivid, like
Really?
apocalyptic dreams and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just not that hard for me to go there. And I mean, my life's been a little up and down as well. So
Yeah.
this particular part though was a little challenging because she, a lot of her sadness and heart, her brokenness comes
Mhm.
from the loss of her son. And I'm not a parent, so it's not something that I can pull from in my life and say, what if I
Yeah.
lost my child or anything like that. So it was a total imaginary circumstance for me, which worked too because I was just thinking about the fact that there are women in the world, many who have lost a child, and
Right.
how. And I guess
I
in
know
those
children.
scenes, I was thinking, I want to do it justice, like for the women who actually have gone through this, and just thinking about that breaks your heart, just thinking of that makes you so sad. So it just kind of gets you there.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
It's a lot
And
of talent.
yeah, like I said, the way Lifetime movies are portrayed, because we had Jennifer Taylor on twice, who's another excellent Lifetime movie actress, and yourself, and everybody says, God, they always seem so evil and so bitchy and so conniving. I guess it takes a lot to be that way, but
Which
when
is pretty.
I know, but when we talk to them here on the show, it's all a whole different thing. Just such a soft behavior. Do you find it hard to flip that switch and get to that kind of cunning side?
No, no, I
You
don't.
must be a fire sign. Like, what are you? What's your sign? Hold on. I have to know.
I'm a Taurus, but I mean, I think
Same.
I might have like a rising of like a fire sign or something. It must be, right?
You have to have some Leo in you. I feel like you have a
I think
lot
there
of
is a little
Leo.
Leo in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Are you
I'm a Leo, like
a
Leo
sign?
rising.
Okay. So you recognize it in me. I feel like I recognize something in you that's in me too. So I think it's the Leo.
Yeah. We're all connected. It's a beautiful mosaic.
I'm a Taurus, and people say, "Oh, that show you're
So
so goofy,"
true.
and then I shut the show off, and I'm just this cranky guy. No,
Oh
really,
my
I'm
gosh. Look at that. Like, see, we're all connected.
You're a Taurus
exactly.
too?
Yes, I am. I am
Look at that.
April the
Yeah.
27th. So yeah, I'm Taurus. You
That's
can't guess it by
crazy.
my bubbling personality.
Okay, I'm May
Um,
16th.
all right. So you also did a Netflix series called The Upshaws, and that's more of a comedy cast. Wanda Sykes, Kim Fields, Mike Epps is a great cast. Um, what is more Jessica Marsh? Do you like being comedy? Do you like being drama? Do you like everything? Do you just like the range?
I mean, drama is easier to me. Like I said, it is kind of easy for me to switch into that stuff. The comedy is a little more out of my comfort zone, even though I'd like to do more of it. It's just maybe I'll just have done as much of it. But the days that I was shooting on the Upshaws, and especially because Tim Fields has been in sitcoms since she was a little girl.
Yes. Yeah.
She has so much experience in sitcoms, and Wanda Sykes is just like a comedic genius. So it's like working alongside him is such an honor, but also very nerve wracking. Especially
Yeah.
because even though I do have a lot of experience as an actor, I don't really have a lot in comedy. I'm definitely not in sitcom type acting. So I was just I was sweating the whole entire day, you know, just like sweating through my clothes. Yeah, I was just so
Oh,
nervous.
do you guys want to do something fun and spontaneous?
Sure.
Sure.
So Jessica, I'm not on your level, but like I love acting as well. Jeff, like why don't you throw us some lines to do at each other? Just
All
make
right.
them up.
So let's say the two of you are in a love triangle with me, and the two of you are going to confront each other about it. And let's hear this great, spontaneous argument.
Okay.
I'll let
So I
Jessica go
heard that
first.
I heard that you were hanging out with my man. I and I just, you know, I really would appreciate a little respect because I
Wait,
would never do
who?
that to another woman. My
Who
man,
are
you were
you
with him
even?
the other night.
Your man has
Yeah,
a name,
of
I'm
course you would act like you
sure.
don't know what I'm talking about. Of course you would.
Yeah, of
No,
course I would. Because
it's really ridiculous. It's not it's steal my now you're trying to steal my man too?
do,
And what have I ever done to
who
you? Just tell me that.
are you? No, what have you done to me? You're harassing me in public
Do you
right
have
now.
amnesia? Is this from the is this from the accident? Is this why your amnesia is just like I don't understand why you're pretending like you don't know, or do you not? Do you need medication? Like, should we get you to the doctor?
How do you even know about that accident?
Because I'm the one who was driving.
Oh, you killed it! Yes! Oh
I
my
tell you
God,
what, I was actually
how
starting to get scared.
amazing!
Like the two of them actually had a run in. Terrific.
I love that.
That was ridiculous. That was fun.
Oh, it
Dude,
was so
you're so
good.
good. Yes.
That's a great call, Tina. And I love
I
watching
was just being
because
kind of silly.
So fun.
so good though. I mean,
That was
it's
fun.
definitely a talent. Like a lot of people, oh, I could act or I could do it. You really can't. It definitely is. You have to put yourself on so many different levels, get into character. Do you research a lot of your characters or styles of your characters to kind of get into it, or is it like I said, it just kind of comes natural? Like, all right, I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna read the lines. I'm gonna kill this.
It's research if you don't know about like a job that someone does, you know, the character does or something. But a lot of it too is just like thinking about just like a lot of thinking and meditating on it, you know, figuring out like, okay, what is my character's main goal or wish or desire, you know, in their way to get what they want. And then just kind of going from there.
Awesome. We kind
Right.
of got some of our audience a little confused too. Tim said
Hi,
that
Tim.
he thinks he came in at a weird time.
I think I came in at a weird time.
I had
I'm just being
two
silly,
wonderful
guys.
ladies like simulating
Jessica
an
and
argument
Tina
over
going
me.
at
And
it.
yeah, it was something else. It really was amazing though. Just a great job. Tina, go ahead.
Yeah, so actually, Jeff, what was your initial question again? And I keep thinking you're drinking a mimosa
No,
because
it's
it
not
looks
mimosa.
orange.
It's not coffee either. Um, no, so basically like what it takes to prep and how do you prepare for roles
Oh
and
yeah.
is there any
Uh,
ritual to prepare for roles?
So I was gonna say, Jessica, because based on that question, I had thought about this. A lot of people like Charlie Sheen, etc., have gone into, practice of being that character day and night and really trying to embody whatever they're trying to embody. Do you do that type of acting, or do you really just like sit down and separate yourself from the role?
Like method acting type thing. I you know
Yeah, like method acting.
I use a little bit of, yeah, I use a little bit of that, but I don't go too far with it, you know, like there are ways where I kind of really into my character when I'm on set, where I start actually feeling the other actors who are playing, you know, roles opposite me. Like if it's a character that's playing my boyfriend or husband who I'm supposed to be in, or someone I'm supposed to be in love with, I do start kind of feeling like, do I like them? Or like, is it just my character? Because I just kind of accidentally start, you know, or if it's
Yeah, it
someone I'm supposed to
becomes
get
your
along with, I'm
reality
just like,
almost.
I don't know, they're just annoying the shit out of me. Yeah.
That's real love.
but I don't do it to the extent of like taking it home with me. I try to, I leave it like on the job,
Yeah.
you know, have a date with my boyfriend, or or chill out, and I snap out of it, like, so I can be Jessica too.
That's awesome.
Right, of course. You have
Makes a
to.
lot of sense. Now you were in soap operas for a while, and I gotta ask because soap operas they don't do reruns; they're constantly brand new episodes. Is it a harder grind to constantly be filming as opposed to all right, we're gonna do this movie, we're gonna use it for a few months, and then go off and go on break? Is it tougher being soap opera because it never stops?
Yeah, it was pretty intense. I mean, it's sometimes 40 pages a day, and just and you get
Wow.
the scripts. I can't remember how soon in advance, but I would learn it the night before, because if you're working five, it get confusing if you learn it all 1 week at a time. So you learn like the night before, and just a ton of dialogue. But as you get to know your character better, it gets a little easier, just because a lot of soaps are kind of you're sort of reminding the audience where you were in the last episode. So there's some expositional stuff that makes it a little easier, because you already talked about that in the last episode. And
Okay.
then in the next episode, you're shooting the next day, you're kind of like, remember what I said about the part? So it's kind of easier, since you're like, okay, well, I know what happened and I know what my character's going through. So you just sort of
Very cool.
Jessica, how did you get started into acting and everything? And, like, who are you? Who is Jessica Morris when you're not in character?
very good questions. But first, I want to ask, what is your kitty's name?
Don't laugh. Her name is Kiki because my sister and I
Kiki.
yes, that's Kiki. She's the best. Um, so ever since we were kids, we call puppies Puppy. And until we're adults, and we still call him Puppy. Doesn't matter whose dog it is, doesn't matter the name. Like, hey, Puppy, come here. Like, same with kitties, they're Kiki, and so
So
she's forever
cute.
Kiki.
That is cute.
She plays fetch. She used to be feral.
That's adorable. Oh, pretty kitty.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh,
Kiki,
wow. So you kind of
come
like
say
tamed her?
hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has her ear clipped
So the
because she
first
has all
part
her
of the
shots.
question, oh, what a cutie. How I got started was just like, I don't know if that's a very interesting story. It's like, they decided to do it, drove out from Florida to California, and just started doing it. Like I didn't know, but I found a place to live. I found a job, and like waiting tables so I could pay my bills at the time. I got in, at the time, it was like when you used to do the mail-in submissions, so it was like mailing my headshot with like a resume that had like a high school play on there.
Yes, I know.
And yeah, so I submitted that, and then someone took a chance on me and being with me, and I started. She was like, "Are you ready? Are you ready to just be thrown out there?" And I was like, "Oh yes, just I'm ready. Just throw me into to everything." And I don't know, I was not a actor at the time. I was very green, but I had a lot of enthusiasm, and that took me somewhere. So yeah,
Oh, can you give us an
that's basically how I
example
got
of like
started.
how you would do like wait, I'm so sorry. I know that I had two questions, but like based on that, like Jeff, is this okay to ask?
Sure.
Can I ask her to give us like kind of a description or like an example of how she used to audition for things back in the day?
Like how I used to audition.
Yeah, like for example, like what you were just
Wait, what is your
talking
question?
about, like when you used to send it in. Um, because I remember that too, like sending in headshots and everything, and like by mail or going in person, and things were so different back then.
Yeah.
And sometimes they would ask you for a monologue or a commercial example.
Yeah, I used to go in, and I used to get so nervous, like it took me a long time to get past that. And, roles that maybe I would have had a chance at because, I was right for the role, and I was really prepared, but I got in there, and so much to where, the paper would be like shaking, the size that I was holding, my hand would just be shaking, or like my face would start twitching, like the side of my lip would just start, like
Ow.
you kind of just like freeze, you're so prepared, but it's like, how am I supposed to be relaxed enough to like do any sort of good acting when I feel like I can't move my face and I can't move my body and I'm just scared stiff. So that used to happen to me for
I know the feeling.
That's awesome.
Not
I
as
mean,
well as you.
time.
it's
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever do it. I would get too nervous in a room full of people like that. Like I like to talk, I like to chat with celebrity and all that, but I would get a little bit nervous. Um, Imagine, let's say you
It's
weren't
also
acting.
great now. Like, I love Continue Forever.
Let's say you weren't acting. What would you see yourself doing in life? Can you imagine doing anything besides acting? Would you ever want to be anything else?
Oh,
Oh, I think we lost it.
Uh,
It looks like
uh-oh.
we
I
lost.
it's a toss up between.
Oh,
You lost me.
Kinda. You're kind of going in and out on the audio.
You got me back a little bit.
Do you
Yeah.
have your phone on
We're good.
What's
Wi-Fi?
going
It's
on?
okay. Yeah.
We got you on now. We can see.
So when I was deciding okay. Should I wait a minute?
No, we're good. We're ready.
Okay. So I was trying to decide between things. My two interests were acting and psychology. And, there have been times where, things were a little slow with acting. And I'm like, well, I made the wrong choice. But no, I didn't, because I've had an adventurous life. I love my life. I'm so passionate about being an actor. And, I actually use a little bit of that interest for psychology in my acting because, when you're playing different characters, you're sort of studying human behavior.
Yeah.
And so it kind of, I feel like those two jobs sort of are similar in a weird way. They kind of go hand in hand.
They do. I totally agree with that. I'm also a huge lover of psychology. In fact, did a whole podcast with that, but also like I'm very into social sciences and how people think and why they behave the way they behave. And so I find that method acting is very interesting, but also I could personally never do it either myself when I was really more into the acting realm. And now like I can really appreciate even from afar and still doing like many things here and there as an actress myself, like that I still really love to delve into the psychology of why and how and like study it and understand it. And I think it's really fascinating. So you're into psychology. Do you have a degree in psychology?
Yeah. I don't, because I decided not to go down that road and I just acting. So that's just the direction I chose. But yeah, it's all very fascinating to me too. I agree.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think it's amazing that you're following your dreams. Like you're such a beautiful person too. And just like I was saying, I made the word "to" go with Jewel, so I said Tool, but that's a good band. So I think that you have like a really beautiful aura around you.
What did you do during
You as
the?
well. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
awesome. What did you do during the the whole COVID thing, the shutdown, whatever? Because I know we asked our guests this. Some kept busy, some kind of took time off and just kind of laid back. What did you do during that time to stay creative, or did you just kind of relax? Say, all right, let me kind of retool, and I'll get back out there when we're ready.
A little bit of both. There's a moment where I was like, oh crap, we can't work.
I know.
And it's like, oh, maybe I'll relax a little bit. Opportunity to and slowly it started opening up and did like a couple indie films that were shooting outside of LA where things were opening up before LA. And so a little bit of both.
That's awesome. We tried to.
Sorry,
keep
there's a
busy.
bit of a delay, isn't there?
A little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're working through that because we're just so happy to have you. It don't matter to me at all. But when we had
Oh,
the
thank you.
sure, when we had the shutdown here, it actually helped us reach more people because a lot of people weren't going out and they were establishing and finding webcasts, podcasts. There was no new shows, no new movies, nobody was filming. So through
No new
this,
shows, no new
I know.
shows.
So through this, we created a huge audience, and it's helped us reach out. So we're thankful for it. And we're also thankful for the actors and actresses like yourself who waited patiently and now are back out just cranking out a ton of work like you're doing. You're very busy, and we love you for it. It's great.
Well, thanks. And yeah, it's great that you were able to do your job, while the pandemic was going on, and reach out to a lot of people, because I know a lot of people were craving to connect and to talk and everything. So it's beautiful.
Yeah, it worked out very well. We're thankful for it. We're going to pretty much give everybody the roundup of where to find you. I got everything on the scroll down the bottom. Jessica, of course, stars in the Lifetime movie Danger in the Spotlight, debuting August 27th. Heard a little something about it tonight. Nice little suspense thriller. It's on Lifetime. Check your local listings, as they say in the business. If you want to learn more and see more, she's on Instagram at Jessica Morris1. And of course, you can find her on the great movie site IMDb, and you can check out her entire catalog of extensive work, because she's a tremendous actress and definitely worthwhile. Jessica, we would love to, after some of these new projects come out, we'd love to invite you back. Would you like to come on with us again?
Absolutely. This has been a blast. Thank you so much.
We thank you so much. Absolutely amazing. We're about at our half-hour limit. We stick to the half hour. It goes by so fast, but we want to thank you for
It
coming
does.
on. You're absolutely lovely. You're a terrific actress who keep up the great work. Jessica Morris, our guest, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you
Jessica,
so
thank
much.
thank you for coming on. We'll
Thank
talk to
you
you
so
real soon.
much.
Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Terrific. Just great stories. A terrific actress with everything going on, Tina. And I love her. I think she's great and very upbeat.
That was so fun.
I
She's so
did.
sweet.
It goes by so fast, and I really stick to the half hour. And her PR firm, it's Jessica Katz PR. They send us a lot of great guests, and they always say, "Well, can you kind of stick to like the half hour?" And I do. I stick to the half hour. And I looked at the clock. I'm like, "Oh."
I know. I'll 2 seconds. My bottle is right on the table, Jeff. And is that okay with you?
Absolutely. We're all about timeouts here. I can hold it. Jewel hates timeouts. Jeff can handle timeouts. That was, again, Jessica Morris, Danger in the Spotlight, which debuts August 27th on Lifetime. I know I'll be checking it out because her roles on Lifetime are so great. She plays them so well. And this one, I love it. I love the roles, Tina. Like she said, it's like she gets in this accident.
Yeah.
She finds out that who she gets in an accident with is a big ballet dancer who can never dance again. And now she tricks her way to becoming her caretaker. And like
Ooh.
that's the twists and
Yeah.
turns of the Lifetime movie, man.
And you know what? Like, I think it's so amazing because Lifetime is such a big, big stepping stone for so many other actors as well. They start there and they just raise up. And with the right support, you can ascend and conquer that.
Very
Ooh, you like
nice,
that?
nice drop and very well played. I believe that
And
though.
facts.
Like I said, I mentioned Jennifer Taylor earlier. She's been with us a couple of times. And she's been on Two and a Half Men, of course. She played Chelsea, and she does
Love
a lot of.
it.
I love her too. She's great.
It's
She does
awesome.
It's funny. Again, like I said about the Lifetime movies, like these women come off as like these awful, conniving, kind of bitchy women, but in life they're great. When we talked to Jennifer Taylor, I said, "So, what's a day like?" She said, "Well, in the morning I take my kids to the bus stop and I wait for the bus.
Yoga.
And then I go in the house." I'm like, that doesn't sound like the Lifetime woman who's getting ready to slash up her neighbor. Yeah.
I thought you were supposed to be on Desperate Housewives.
I know. I thought there was like an anger side.
That's funny. Dude, she was great. There was a little bit of a lag, but everything was fine. I mean, I could hear her. I think that in the end, like sometimes I've had situations like that where it comes back and the MP4, it sounds completely normal.
I agree. It's never flawless. There's times, like I said last night, our other program, The Yo Show, of course, with Jewel Tatey. Hi, Jewel, if you watch this replay. I love you. Miss you. We had Lena Scissorhands on, and a huge, like, heavy metal goddess from the band Infected Rain. And Tina, it was
Cool
like
hair.
her hair, the tattoos are incredible. The hair is cool. But for 20 minutes, even using the StreamYard link, which is usually a one click, she couldn't get on. And we
It
are
happens.
exchanging emails and bouncing back and forth
Texting,
and texting.
calling.
She left me voicemails that I saved. So Earl says you are flawless. Aww.
That is not true, Earl, but thank you so much for the
Yeah.
compliment.
Make sure you watch
Thank you.
Ascend and Conquer because you'll lose that perception of Tina in a minute. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I will not be flawless any longer.
Earl, Tina is very yo showish. She is, let's see, serious when needed, extremely playful when needed, packs the big smile and just knows how to. I can't get that dance down. I'm not used to dancing. I'm not going to make Jewel dance. But it's very good.
I was just being weird because, I mean, what am I supposed to say to that kind of compliment?
You know, I don't know what to say to it either. If I had a nickel for every woman that commented and said, Jeff, you're so handsome and so beautiful, I'd have a nickel. But anyway, another shot of
That's
moonshine.
not true.
Ah, good.
Oh, cheers.
Another shot of moonshine for the folks at home. My man Gus, if Gus happens to catch this replay, because a lot of my friends watch the replay, and if Gus happens to catch this is really just the greatest moonshine ever.
You go, Gus.
Mm.
Greatest moonshine ever. Oh, wait, hands this way. Greatest moonshine ever in Jeff Perini, the shark
I
of the
still can't-
Osho's hand.
There it is. I'm pointing
Yeah.
at you, but I'm actually pointing all in the other side of the room.
Yeah, it feels strange, right? It's not normal.
It is.
Like,
It's
what?
definitely weird. And it cuts off half me. I got this great Guns N' Roses shirt on that nobody can even see.
Is that Guns N' Roses?
Of course. That is like my band of bands. I just saw them a couple weeks back in Hershey Park. It was terrific.
What?
Yes.
And you know their bathrooms smell like chocolate.
At Hershey Park? Absolutely.
It's weird.
Everything
Yeah.
smells like chocolate at Hershey
But
Park.
they put it in the vents, though.
So Earl said that's an I Dream of Jeannie dance. A little bit.
Oh, well, you know what? That is a big compliment. He's just all compliments because that's a big compliment. I Dream of Jeannie was the crap back in the day.
And that's just it. Earl's not really complimenting. He's telling the truth. He's a truth teller.
Aw, thank you.
Absolutely. He gives Jewel great confidence. He'll give them to Tina, but he knows who the best looking person is on the Yo Show, and I appreciate that, Earl. Thank you very much.
That's such a good person. I
He's
can
great.
tell.
He's a diehard. Like I said, he helps bring terrific guests to our show, and
Aw.
he's a big fan of music. He's in bands himself. He plays music, so he's quite a star. We love him.
I'll sing. Don't make me do it.
Now I heard, well, it's Maria who actually does a lot of the singing.
Yeah, she has a beautiful voice.
She does have a beautiful voice, but I mean, I will gladly give you 30 seconds of time to hit me with some music.
Okay, sure. Sit on a mountain, take it slow. It'll work itself out fine. All you need is just a little patience. I only need 10.
That was fantastic. In 10 seconds time, I was totally enthralled.
No, I'm completely embarrassed. I've been drinking. Don't ask me to sing when I drink because I'll do whatever.
You know, part of the Yo Show is getting your drink on.
I didn't get to do that last time. I feel so like it's weird being here. And also like I'm missing Jewel. Like I wish Jewel was here too to share this
Sure.
experience. Like, hi Jewel, wherever you are. But like you're awesome. So like it feels better to like be able to go on shows and stuff like to everybody that knows my situation and everything because it's not really that private. That to be myself more right now and just like, hi Jewel. Yeah, that part. It looks like a U on this end. It looks like Jewel with a U.
That is
Oh, it's a
you look
tiny
real
W.
close. You can get
It's a tiny W.
a little bit. But we understand that, and you know, it's like we come on shows, and the reason why I get people like yourself on the show is to show the bright side, the side that people easily love, the people that, the side that people just are drawn to. And that's the thing with Indie Pods, so we'll get a little more into that, so we'll talk about that. It's this awesome convention that Tina had put together. It's called Indie Pods United, and it's actually like a online, it was what, a 4-day convention?
Virtual. I mean, we're not going to say numbers or days right now because who knows what might just pop out of the woodworks with me. But the founders and I will be having something completely planned and like awesome for you guys, like here in the next 2 weeks for everybody to know about. And here's the thing. When I started Indie Pods, I had no idea where it would go.
Sure.
I had no clue that it would blow up the way it did and have so much support from such amazing podcasters and just people in general that I still just talk to on the regular basis, just like texting or messaging, and they check in on me and vice versa if we feel something's going on. And like, it's just such a good conglomeration of people, like just the most beautiful people in the podcasting indie community that I could think of. And I'm so thankful for that, because if it wasn't for the people that are in our group on Facebook, Indie Pods United, like, I may not even be here, to be honest.
And
A lot of those people saved my life from the situation I was going through. And I'm happy now, which is another, that's part of the reason I'm doing Ascend and Conquer as a podcast, because I've always been this enlightened spirit. It's positive and I love people. And I just want to show that to everybody and be that light and positivity and power in people's lives to help them empower themselves to become better people and make it to where they want to go and know that they have that in them. And so to have that held back from me for such an extended period of time was really painful. And I went through that and but I'm here now and I live in the now. Now is where we're all supposed to be. Don't think in the past and make that your life. Don't think too far in the future and take just that path, because you'll miss something on the way. And that's a problem. The mind and the soul are two very different things.
I agree full-heartedly. And shine on, little diamond. I like that. But it's true. And I am flattered by the fact that you think that coming towards us as a community has helped you along the way. It's great. And we just want you to succeed as well as all of us together. So a lot of people ask me like, hey, where can I find a new podcast? Or who should I be listening to? Check out Indie Pod, because there's so many of us. And everybody gets a little piece. Joel and I did like a little half-hour skit, just pretty much talking about our show. And you seen earlier Jeff Revere and Tim, Brian Snow. A lot of us get out there to Indie Pods and just put on a little piece of ourselves and show you what it's all about. And I've gotten into listening to all these other people because of it. I think it's great. Like, I don't announce myself that much when I watch people's shows, and I'm like, hey, man, because I don't want to feel like they have to come and do it to me. But I do enjoy watching several people, do their thing. And I like to pick up pieces from other people. A lot of people from Indie Pod, and it blows me away. A lot of people are like, oh, the Yo Show. We learned so much from you guys. We love watching you guys. We love the way you guys do this and that. And afterwards, like when it's all over, me and Joe are like, us? Really?
It's such a beautiful compliment, isn't it?
It's terrific. It really is. It means a lot that, because like I said, we try so hard to keep it so simple, but sometimes it's all it has to be. You know what I mean? It just has to be simple words and like yourself.
It's just because you are who you are. When you're genuine and authentic and you're your real self and you just let it all out and you have a great time, people love that. Nobody wants to be sad.
Exactly.
Like, if you're going to have to be sad during a show, you better hope there's a real happy ending. You better hope that something amazing comes out of that sadness, because why would you want to be stuck in a black hole?
And there was moments when myself and Jewel, and we've admitted to ourselves, like one another, pre-show, like a few minutes beforehand, like, look, I had a really bad day, or I don't feel well, or this is going on, that's going on. And I always like, we back each other up, like, what do you want to do? And like, oh, go on, of course, because going on changes all that. It makes us just feel better. Gosh, so Tina's going to step away for a moment, but it does. It makes
Sorry.
us, no, not a problem at all. It makes us feel better. We get, we come here, people watch us, talk to us, make comments, and that's just like, that changes our whole mood. Sometimes it's very much needed. You guys helped me find a great truth. I used to think podcast meant dolphin fishing.
Podcast. I get it.
Very well done, Earl. And Earl, you've been, like I said, a guy like you that comes home with your great comments and funny stuff and
That's funny.
sharing and all that and being a part of it. It really helps, man. It makes us feel
Add me
great.
on Facebook. Be my friend.
Yes,
Is that
absolutely.
okay, Jeff?
Yes, of course it is. I mean, that's your baby to conquer because Earl's a handful. No, I'm kidding. Earl's amazing. Earl, make sure you find Tina Marie Trimpert on Facebook. She's absolutely amazing. And make sure you check out Indie Pods. He's the kind of guy that would love Indie Pods. And this year, like I said, we're going to try, Joe and I are going to try to get a guest to join us this year. We tried last year. We might this year try and get somebody else to come on and
You're gonna
kinda-
have to. There's no way it can go on without you.
Right. Well, we'll definitely be there, but we might try to get somebody extra to kind of show everybody how we do our interviewing. And I don't even like to call it interviewing. Like I kind of got out of Lena last night. It's not so much an interview on a podcast; it's a conversation. You're kind of
I love that.
chatting, right? Right, exactly. That was great. She said you're kind of chatting with your friends, and I watched one of hers, and I was very jealous. She had on Derek Green from the metal band Sepultura. They're out of Brazil. And she interviewed Derek, and I'm like, wow. She's just like, Derek, let's talk like friends. The show is called Party On. What is a party to you, Derek? Like, no big deal. And he's just like, hey, man, let me tell you about partying. I'm like, holy shit, like Derek Green's going to talk about partying. I was a little
Oh my
jealous.
gosh.
I hate to
Okay.
admit it, I was jealous.
Yeah, that is so cool. I remember my first metal CD was Malmsteen. So it was, like that was my
Yeah.
original, like that came in the mail by accident, along with, for some reason, this person had ordered also U2 with Malmsteen. Like, what? The Libra scale says nada. Also, I think there was a Jessica Simpson CD thrown in there, which is like, okay, this has got to be 3 different people. But
know, right?
like metal became like, I really loved metal a lot growing up, like in all the way through my high school years, like Trivium, especially Trivium. I was so obsessed. But old Avenged Sevenfold,
Oh, yeah.
Seosin, actually, all of that. And all of the 80s bands as well, and even like 70s, we can go back 70s, and I'll tell you all about Air Supply and talk about how I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you're right. Been leaving for so long.
Very
So.
nice. I never had you pegged for a metalhead, though.
I totally was one.
Wow.
You would laugh at my pictures.
I want to see those pictures. You can gracefully send them to me in Messenger so the whole world can see them, or you could text them, etc.
Oh no.
Oh, I love that. I love the 80s scene. I was in, like, for me in the 80s, like, last night I told Lena, like, right now I love girls with tattoos and that funky style. Like, my wife's got, like, 7 tattoos. I dig tattoos.
Oh, nice.
But in the 80s, it was the girls with the real high hairspray hair, real big hair, and super tight stonewashed
Listening to
jeans.
White Snake.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
those
that
girls.
oh my God, those girls! What they did to me back then. Wow.
Oh, and the Cyndi Lauper girls. They had the Cyndi Lauper chicks. They were a whole different
Yeah.
breed.
I
They
like
didn't
them
just want to have fun.
Oh, they wanted to have fun in many, many ways. I didn't like the
And
Madonna
not
chicks,
so
though.
fun in some ways.
Truth. I didn't like the Madonna chicks. The Madonna chicks were usually the snobby girls.
Madonna's still around too. Like, so if you still listen to Madonna, he's not saying you're snobby, but you might be.
A little bit, a little bit. But the girls that, like, when you would go out and drive down in Philly, it was always the Roosevelt Mall. And anybody from Philly knows what I'm talking about. all the girls would walk to Roosevelt Mall, and all the guys would cruise in the cars. And there was the girls, the ones that dressed like Madonna, never wanted to talk to anybody. The ones that dressed like Cyndi Lauper, you let them kind of wait in the back a little bit. You'll get to them later on. Then there are the ones that were all Italianed out or Puerto Rican out. And they're the ones like that everybody was talking to. Me, I was always like, dude, can we get out of here and drive past the Empire Rock Club? Because I want to watch the Rock Girls come out. I was like the only one that wanted to see the Rock Girls.
Hey, that's why you have these awesome chicks like Lena on your show. And she's so gorgeous too. What an awesome person to have on. Like honestly, when we were speaking before the show and I had called you because I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so nervous to be on your show again. You were kind of telling me a little bit about like how, you got to meet them and like in this podcast realm. And I think it's really awesome that you get to connect with these types of people. Like it's so amazing what you and Jewel do, and the Yo Show is going to go so far.
I'm flattered. I'm blushing. You can't tell because there's so many lights on me, and it's actually kind of
No,
hot.
I can tell. I still see it.
I do got a little red. Now, this is big. Now, Earl, I mentioned this last night. Earl's got a friend who did sound check for Vixen, and he's trying to get Roxy Petrucci on my show. I've reached out there. I've tried to get members of Vixen. I don't get a lot of response. If you can give me anybody from Vixen.
Wow, that is amazing.
And grown up now,
Wow.
like we talk about like 80s metal and hair bands, for guys there was very little. There was Vixen. And I was in love with Vixen. Like that was like my girls growing up. Like
Yeah.
I loved them.
And yeah, like you're either like I feel like in the 80s like Vixen or Heart.
Oh, I loved
You
Heart.
were one way
Oh.
or another.
Even these many years later, and I don't even think about age, Nancy Wilson could come steal me from my wife any day. I love her.
Ooh.
I love
Uh-oh.
Nancy. I love Nancy Wilson. I really do. I love her to death.
That's funny.
Oh, she doesn't have
Oh,
to.
my
She doesn't have
goodness.
to steal me, but she can spend the weekend at my house.
Yeah, well, your wife could be there too.
Okay, this just took a whole better picture. Nancy Wilson, if you're listening, I will email you my address and best times to contact.
Hashtag, yeah. Okay, hashtag Nancy and Jeff is the hashtag.
I like
Hashtag Nancy and Jeff, everybody.
Remember that. Post it on every single social media thing you hit. Hashtag
Make it happen.
Nancy and Jeff. Now,
Manifest it.
they're a fantastic group. And the thing that pisses me off, remember, Anne sung the national anthem. I want to say at the Super Bowl. And there was a guy, oh my God, oh, she's so terrible. Oh, how dare she? The woman, I think, is what,
no.
she's what, in her 60s? And she
Yeah.
is a rock goddess? Like, okay.
Hello.
Like you're talking like Ann Wilson, like eventually your voice is going to change. Like people were shitting on Axl
come
Rose
on.
after the Hershey Park show, and I'm like, dude, Axl is 57. He's been singing
Dude,
top
he's,
notch all these years.
yes, thank you. Axl Rose is forever Axl Rose.
Yes,
I don't care how old he is forever just Axl, right? Like I can hear him in my head now, you know?
Oh yeah, I love it. I've got Guns N' Roses stuff just like everywhere. I love Guns N' Roses.
Love it. What's your favorite song?
Oh my God, Paradise City definitely.
Sing it.
No.
Oh, I thought you were going to do it.
And I gave you a little pump fake. But Paradise City, like there's bands I love, songs I love, and then there's just songs that take me to a different place. And Paradise
Take me
City,
down to the
Paradise
Paradise
City,
City.
where the grass is green,
It's green and the girls
pretty.
are pretty.
I want
Oh,
you,
won't
please
you
take me home.
please take me home? Yeah.
There was something about every piece of that song. The lyrics, the rhythm, the instruments. It's like a whole new world to me. Like when that song comes on, there's certain songs that I can never be in a bad mood. And if I'm in the worst possible mood and somebody puts on Paradise City, it just all goes away. It just transcends me into happy land.
There you go. That's how you ascend is through that song. I mean, everybody's got their different ways, right? That's a good freaking song. And you know what? I can see why, but there's a lot of major notes in that. What's the word? A lot of major notes in that song. We'll just say
Okay.
song. because I can't think of the terminology right now. But yeah, like every century I feel is so different with music.
Yes.
For example, World War II, they played a lot of songs that had a lot of minor notes, even if it sounded happy, even if it was like all over the place, like do 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 do, whatever. It was a lot of minor notes, and during that time, there's a lot of depressed people if you look into the psychology of it. So it's really interesting how you go from this year to this year to this year, and the psychology of music is ever changing. So people that did grow up in this era have a certain mindset that's different from the one beneath or above them, because music really does make a difference on your brain. And it really does make a difference on the collective as a whole, and even the collective within the collective, which is your collective and your era. I think that's very, very interesting.
I'm definitely music definitely moves me in so many ways. Like I do simple house chores like fold laundry and music is on, or I try to exercise. Music's on. I'm in the car. Music's on. So music is always on, and music always means a lot to me. Now I'm gonna hit you with this. I'm gonna do it as well. You know, Jewel and I always do top five lists. I didn't prepare one for tonight. So it's kind of like me and Jewel's little thing. But we'll do a top three list. And I already mentioned Paradise City. I want you to think about three songs that automatically change your mood to a great mood. I'll come with mine. Paradise City, of course. Jump Around by House of Pain. Just incredible. When I hear Jump Around by House of Pain, I am just a switched up person. And AC/DC's Thunderstruck, because it just takes me to a hard place, like a good
I
hard
love
place.
AC/DC. Good picks. This is gonna be very difficult for me because I'm like a human jukebox. Let's see. What puts me? Okay, I know there's gonna be a Spice Girls song in there. I don't care who judges me for that. Let's go
Not
with the one that
me.
has the fairies in it, because I remember when I lived in England, I moved to Germany, then back to Texas, I was still listening to that. So I think it was the Spice Girls song that was like, ah, Jeff, help me out here. What
Spice
is
Girl song?
the, yeah, Wannabe, I
I'm
think.
giving you everything, all the
That's
joy left
Backstreet Boys,
fingers.
isn't it?
No, that's what's that song? Oh, you'll always be there. Oh, you said wait. Doug, tell me what you want, cause you really, really want. I'll tell you
That's
what I
the
want, cause I
one.
really,
Yes,
yeah, I
that.
would love that. Can't believe I'm singing that
ABBA.
on air, but you know,
Okay, well, you just did. So,
I
and
sure
also
did.
ABBA Dancing Queen, because Dancing Queen, young and, you can't stop to that. And then
Exactly.
also, uh, there's a Bruno Mars song. Oh, it's the one where he is like, oh, I just went Spice Girls. My brain's doing a lot of things. The Bruno Mars song, not the sad one. Oh, Uptown Funk You Up. Uptown Funk You Up. You know what
That's a
I'm
good
talking
song.
about? That's the other one. That
He's
song will put me in a good mood all day.
I like it. I like those songs, and they're of course on my music library. And I don't like to cheat it and make them come on, but I like them to pop on in my life because I feel like, all right, they come on for a reason at a certain time. Like, all right, Jeff, it's me, your happy song. Let's take you down a notch, and it works. I'm going to show you a little something. Hold the phone here for a second because I'm going to show you something that is going to blow your mind. I'll be right back. Take it away.
I can't see the comments, but hello. I will also wait, actually. My co host Brandon loves WWE, and I see that Jeff has a WWE belt behind him. And now I'm going to ask him why. People.
Now
Jeff,
you're yes,
I see your WWE belt behind you. Why?
yes.
Why?
So
Who?
actually, I was always a humongous fan in the Attitude Era. Stone Cold Steve Austin was always my man.
Yes!
And this belt, unfortunately, the story behind it, this is actually the more of the less expensive type. But when Toys R Us was going out of business, these were originally $100, and I looked in the store and like, all right, 30% off. I'm like, all right, $70, I'll come back. 50% off, $50. I'll come back. And then one day the sign says 70% off the entire store, and I go in, $30, grabbed it, took it out of the box, boom, and I've had this thing for years out of the box, which is not normally me. I love things in the box, but it's out of the box.
So do you still watch wrestling stuff?
Not as much. I used to adore wrestling. I was the WWE Midget Champion in 1984. I don't watch as much. I think the Attitude Era. People's like, it's not good for children, but it was also a show that came on 8, 9 o'clock at night, so it really wasn't for children. I like the Attitude Era. I think that was more real, but I enjoy it from time to time, but not like I used to.
I love it. I think it's all really amazing, and there's such deep psychology behind all of that as well.
Yeah,
So,
they really are tremendous athletes. I laugh at people, it's so fake. Now, these guys really put their bodies out there, and it is a lot of hard work, and they work, Tina, I believe, 340 days a year.
yeah, and CM Punk
Yeah.
is back, and so is Brock
Love CM
Lesnar,
Punk.
which I
Yeah.
just learned.
CM Punk is now with AEW, and I love him. Brock Lesnar's always been just tremendous. 'Cause
He's scary.
Yeah. But he's like a genuine, like if I seen him on the street, I'd be terrified of a guy like that.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
could be wearing a thin white polo white t-shirt, and that would be scary to see Brock in that, just like walking at you in the street with his really Scandinavian
Yeah.
face, and he's just
That-
ready to beat your ass.
That's why I laugh at social media when everybody's like, oh, look at that man bun. How about you tell him to his face?
Oh
man-
yeah, I dare you. Hello,
My man-
Horror Night. Love you too.
That is Austin Wood. Austin, good evening. He's the host of Horror Night Podcast.
Oh,
He gets some great horror movie classic actors and actresses on his program.
love it.
Does a half-hour show. Good dude. He's been on our show before. Me and him talk a lot. He's like, I want to be like you, man. I want to have the pretty ladies on my
Aw.
show. Well, I don't blame you. I want to be
That's
like me
awesome.
too. But he does a great show. So Austin,
I had
thank
a
you.
great time, like with Laura Meadows, Scream Queen Laura Meadows,
See, I
on
love.
Halloween. So much
We got
witchy
a,
stuff.
We try to get like great. I got a couple of terrific, like legit B movie, horror movie actresses lined up for this Halloween. And I love that stuff.
The best.
I'm not a horror movie guy, but I like the B ones, and I love the women in them because one's better looking than the next, and not a single one can walk through the forest without tripping on a rock.
Those are the ones that like they sorry. So I unfortunately here in the next 3 minutes I'm gonna have to go. Okay, but is that okay?
Yeah, we
Or-
can definitely. But I want to show you this then, since you're going to go. And we're
Yeah,
talking
okay.
about Spice Girls, and I grabbed this when I thought these were going to be huge collectibles, and it's my favorite ever.
Okay.
It's Ginger Spice. I do, in
Are
fact,
you
possess
calling
a.
me a ginger?
You are ginger-esque.
A ginger Asian.
There's got to be a term for that.
Asian ranch sauce on Instagram.
I love that. Greatest name ever. I was explaining it to my buddy today, and he's like, "Huh?" Like, where
Yeah.
she's like a little Asian, and she's into the hot sauce and stuff, and it's perfect. It's like the greatest Instagram handle ever.
Also, I lived on a ranch at one point, and I have the sauce. So I was like, you know what? All of these words go together. Boom.
You are the sauce girl.
I'm the Asian ranch sauce.
That's right. You are.
That's the only one. Number one. Numero uno. Isa. Eins. I'll say it in all the languages if I have to.
So since you're about to head out, I will reconnect the fans. It is Ascend and Conquer podcast hosted by the beautiful, talented, fun-spirited, and moves her hands like an Italian, Tina Trimpert. And
Tina
make sure you-
Marie Trimpert.
Tina Marie Trimpert. Sorry, I left that out. I ruined
Jeffy
it.
knows me too well.
When you call me Jeffy, I get giddy, like a little kid. It's adorable. I absolutely love it. But yeah, absolutely. Make sure you check it out. Add it on Facebook. Check out the podcast because Tina always has great things to say and great fun, as you've seen tonight. Tina, this has been absolutely amazing. I don't want Jewel to think that I had too good a time, like anybody's
I love
taking her
Jewel.
place. I love Jewel as well, but I love you. You're terrific. Your
I
smile
love you too,
is
Jeff.
your smile's enlightening. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you coming on. And the fact that you have to go at 9:30 it makes me sad,
No, I'm sorry.
We know where to find each other, and of course, our door's always open. So we will see you
Yay.
more and more. And Earl gives you love, big
Thank
love.
you, Earl.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And Jeff, always a pleasure being on. I had a great time the first time. I wasn't drunk. I was halfway drunk this time. Maybe next time I'll be full blown drunk and it'll be really hilarious.
I would say, like, if you're down for the challenge, the opening act of Indie Pods this year is we could do like a little shot showdown or something of that nature. Like,
Oh boy. I don't know. We'll have to think about that one. We'll have
I'm
to
not,
think about that one.
I'm not too proud.
Okay. But hey, love you so much, Jeff.
Love you
Jewel,
as well.
wherever you are, love you so much, girl. You're beautiful. It was so amazing talking to Jessica Morris. I can't wait to see her film. What's the name of it again?
I'm going to get that back on for everybody here. Oh, I'm sorry, I put that up a little too
Awesome.
soon. Oh, let me bring that back. So it's going to be, I got it right here actually in my notes. It's Danger in the Spotlight.
Ooh.
I'm actually going to scroll it again for everybody too. I'm going to put the scroll down the bottom here as well. There it is right there. Danger in the Spotlight. It debuts August 27th on Lifetime. And if you want to know more, check out Instagram, Jessica Morris1, and IMDb, which is where all the movie information comes out. Check out Jessica Morris, and you get her arsenal of great programs. Next week, we come back Wednesday night. Laura Cheadle is going to be our very special guest, an amazing local artist and singer, and she's gorgeous, and she has so many great stories to tell. Can't wait for that. Tuesday night, of course, myself and Jewel Tatey will be back on the Yo Show with special guest musician Dondi. I'm going to take you out, everybody, with the music of St. Riggins. This is The Catalyst. For Tina Marie Trimpert, Jeff the Shark Perini, thank you all for joining us tonight on Yo 2.0. Have a great evening. Tina, see you soon. Let's do it. I always leave the volume too low. Here we go.
Introduce yourself. You're doing a fire. You have all the reason to begin again. Under this desire, do you hear the call? Coiling the wire. You have all the reason to begin again. Under this desire. Introduce yourself. Conduit of fire. You have all the reason to begin again. Honor this desire.
Fuck it, we're doing it live. Says we're live. Hello. Hello. Everybody ready? I think so. Right, so.
What's up, everybody in Facebook land? We are St. Brigit's. Thank you for tuning in. Many of you are home, bored, and we really appreciate you spending any time watching us, and we hope to entertain you a little bit while you're stuck in your house. Right? Anyway, let us tune up and then we'll get started.